How much impact do you think that this offense in the first half of the season has on the defense?
It's a good question. I mean, they have to perform better. I think they have to get rid of the 3-and-outs. I mean, it's very hard for a defense to be good when they trot back, they get a sip of water, and they're back out on the field in the very next play.
Aggravating.
Aggravating, right. I mean, so I think the offense has to help them out a little bit here. Doesn't mean they have to become world beaters, but they have to help them out. They have to sustain some drives. They have to have some consistency. You know what I'd like to see from Jalen this year is, if you guys remember early in Jalen Hurts' career, he used to kill teams on 3rd and long. Kill them. Felt like they had him dead to rights, and he would just figure out a way to get a first down. I don't care if it's by hook or by crook, by arm or by leg. I don't care. Jalen Hurts needs to get some first downs this year, and that should help the defense out. But I think the defense will be carrying more of the weight in the first half of the season than the offense, and probably the full year, but definitely for the first half.
Are you expecting more runs in the first month of the season or more balance?
Balance.
Balance.
I think balance.
You know the risk-averse stuff you're talking about? If you're going balance, Xander, that means the ball has more opportunity to hit the ground if you're going to.
Oh,
and that, hang on.
We got to live with this stuff, though, dude. Like, that's football.
Okay, I got it. Well, your identity, though, every year you start the season is, I'm getting out. You even did it a year ago.
Yeah, but to me, it's easier to go backwards than to add. Like, it's easier to start by doing all of it and then go back later in the year to more running the football than to start.
Yeah, but Xander, going back to what gave you success?
Yeah, but it's a different personnel group now, dude. This offensive line is not what they were in 24. The only thing they are the same as they were in 24 is the names. That's it. They're not the same players. They don't have the same health. They don't have the same skill sets.
Older.
I mean,
they don't have the same
about
coaches.
them is the same.
They don't have the same coaches. Right? They don't have the same coaches. All the receivers that you have, who will have the most catches and the most yards as your number 2?
Smith.
No.
Oh, as the number 2. Wicks, number 2.
Wicks.
60 catches.
60? For like what, 700 yards?
Yeah, maybe somewhere in there.
700.
50 to 60, I'd say.
Okay.
I think Darius Cooper is a surprise with 40 plus.
40 plus. 550? 600?
500, yeah.
500.
Lemon, I got at 400.
400 for Lemon. About 35 catches?
I hope.
30. Let's go 30.
30.
Okay.
Now 35. That's 2 a game.
35. Okay.
Come on.
So, and for Devontae, you got about what, 1,200? Sound right?
Yeah, 12 to 13.
1,200 and like what, 90 catches?
Yep, 12 to maybe 30. Yeah, that's good. 1250.
Let me see here. 12, 4, that's 16, and then 12, that's 28. And hey, I'll get the Goddard here. That's 10, that's 100. Then 35, that's 135. That's 90. Because Hurts floats at around 304 incompletions a year and about 32.25 in yards per game over 17 games. So that's 2,800 yards. So you're assuming that Goddard's probably going to come in at around 650, somewhere like that.
600, yeah.
600.
And then maybe a couple hundred to Saquon or the backs.
Well, there's your numbers.
Yeah, 37. I think it's 3,600 yards for Hurts this year.
And what do you got Goddard at catches? Like maybe
I don't know. I'd have to look at his career. Yeah, somewhere around there, maybe.
Yeah, 60. Yeah, that's 285. And like you said, the other 25 are going to come in at they're going to come in at the running backs. So there's your numbers. 750, 500, 400. It'd be the first time that you've had wide receivers, though, outside of the first 2 guys, where your third guy was over 235 yards. I mean, that means you're elevating the third wide. You should. you're elevating the third wide receiver, right? Because that's spreading the ball around. Where you're going to improve the passing game, Xander, is with 2 and with 3, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Because Smith's getting his numbers.
Smith's going to get his numbers because he's good.
Right. Okay.
Look at this super chat. DQ says, what was Lemon's vertical at the combine? I want to make sure he can even make it into the ice dunk.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what.
Wait, you want to laugh, DQ? Mekhi Lemon did not record a vertical jump measurement at the 2026 NFL Combine. It was not tested.
Did he do a 40?
Yes, 40 was 4.46.
That's great. That's a great 40. For a guy who does his damage across the middle of the field, that's pretty good. But he's a little dude, right?
Yeah, what is he, 5'11"?
Yeah. Well, yeah, so he's going to be your seam guy.
Well, Jalen Hurts is apparently ripping the ball down the seam today.
That's good to hear.
That's great to hear.
I've
Great.
heard him.
That's what I want.
Actually heard the last 3 days he's been throwing across the middle of the field. I heard.
Yeah, and you know what else we heard?
He threw a touchdown pass the other day too. Did he not across the middle of the field?
Yeah, but forget the touchdown pass. I care more about the other stuff. There was a report that he threw an interception to Quinyon Mitchell, and it was Elijah Moore. And later in the camp, they figured out that Elijah Moore ran the wrong route, which is why they were so excited when they connected on the next play, because Elijah Moore corrected what he did wrong. And the thing I love about that, I think Underdog pointed out in the chat, was Hurts is throwing to spots. Hurts has struggled with that in his career. He wants to see the guy open. And in this offense, you're going to have to throw the ball to spots.
Are they moving Hurts around in the pocket for him to be able to
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I thought that was a positive thing, because you're going to need, if Elijah Moore was supposed to break out and Hurts put the ball out there and then he didn't break out in the pick, I'll live with the pick. That's a miscommunication.
Will you do me a favor tonight with John? Ask John tonight if Hurts looks different in the pocket with his footwork. I'd like to know, if they're creating passing lanes back there by sliding the pocket to the left or right, depending on what the hash is, because Xander, you know how to get people open? It's a breeze technique. If you're a short dude, you know what they do? You don't go vertical, you go lateral. You move like this, and you move your head and you move your body to create passing lanes. I want to know if Roethlisberger did this exceptionally well. He wasn't a vertical guy. He would move around in the pockets.
Yeah, and then
find his feet,
find the throwing
open lane.
It's like Aaron Rodgers, dude. Aaron Rodgers was so good at that.
Right. I'd like to know if they're working on his feet like that, because a true passer is in the feet, not the arm.
Well, good point. Fundamentals have to come along here.
Yeah. Do you think he's good fundamentally?
I don't think it's been a strong suit for him, but I think he can develop and get better at him. Let's go to these supers, dude. We got a lot.